Welcome back to the Scrapyard, friends. I'm your host, Barnabas Tone.
And this is me, your co-host, Frederick Allen Seto. And it's time for the Fans vs. ACs Challenge. And today we have round 2, group 7. Plus, since we already met both of these drivers in round 1, there's no need for a long introduction.
But just a quick recap for new viewers. For Team Cartoons, we have the 1969 Custom Thunderbird being driven by Sweet Bay Tree. And for Team Scrapyard Diecast Racing, we have our accountant and banker, Stock Market Mike, in the 1968 Custom OTTO.
Yeah, that's great, Barry. Now, let's get up to the guillotine gate and get this race started.
Scrapyard Diecast Racing.
On your right, we have the Custom Thunderbird, and on your left is the Custom OTTO.
I'm rooting for Stock Market Mike to bring home a win for Team Scrapyard. But as a commentator, I can't offer any help. He'll have to do it all by himself. Luckily, he's a loner. Get it? Loner? Because he makes loans at the bank and he's all alone? Get it?
That joke is like a closed account. It draws no interest.
Hey!
3, 2, 1, go!
Sweet Bay blocks and loses it.
She recovers.
She's trying to catch up.
But Mike has too much of a lead and is across the line.
Wow, that was some great action to kick things off. Let's break it all down. They come out of the guillotine gate pretty evenly. Mike stays dead center of the track, but then Sweet Bay goes wide and comes in for the block right at the entrance of the bottleneck.
That's right, Al, but Mike, being the more experienced driver, is able to quickly recover, and it's actually Sweet Bay who managed to flip herself and send her Thunderbird barrel rolling.
Right, Barry, but the steep exit ramp actually helps her out, and she goes into Carmine Corner on all 4 tires and pins the accelerator, trying hard to catch up to Stock Market Mike.
However, by the time she's going into the corner, Mike is already speeding his way out, and he rockets through the outside wall of Clunker Canyon.
Sweet Bay does a good job trying to catch up, but Mike was way too far gone. Maybe if the scrapyard was a little longer, she could have given him a good chase, but she just ran out of track.
Well, someone who did have enough track was our boy Stock Market Mike, being able to keep his head in the race and swat off Sweet Bay's block easily. He puts the first win on the scorecard.
Scrapyard Diecast Racing.
Here we are back at the guillotine gate for Heat 2. Remember, we are not racing 3 mandatory heats in this tournament, so if Mike can win, he'll be a breath away from moving into the next round.
And speaking of breath, do you know why Mike has such fresh breath?
What? Why?
Because he uses investments. Get it? Investments? You know you love it, Barry.
Bad breath isn't the only thing that stinks around here.
3, 2, 1, go!
Mike blocks.
Sweet Bay flips.
It's all over for her.
This is it. Mike's all alone.
He stalls out.
What? Again? Another member of our team blows his lead? Why does this keep happening?
Let's see if we can figure out what happened in that replay.
Barry, it seemed like Mike had everything all set up for the win. He had a nice clean start and edged out a nice lead off the line.
Agreed, Al. He was even able to reverse Sweet Bay's block in the bottleneck.
Not only did he reverse it, but he punched the nitrous and he wheelies his way out of there before Sweet Bay can crash into him.
But it does look like Stock Market Mike is fighting some understeer issues, both going in and coming out of Carmine Corner.
Yeah, but was that enough to make him stall?
It's unclear, Al, because he's straight as an arrow and actually accelerating through Clunker Canyon.
Even from the alternate camera angle, you could see Mike is having no issues whatsoever.
But then out of nowhere, he stalls mere feet from the finish line.
Hey, what if he didn't stall? What if he's taunting Sweet Bay because that's exactly where she stalled out in her first ever heat back in race 1? Is he doing this for drama?
We may never know for sure, but what we do know is no one crossed the line, so it's a big red X for both teams.
Scrapyard Diecast Racing.
we're back at the guillotine gate for Heat 3. If Mike was playing some kind of mind game with Sweet Vee, then he's taking a huge risk, because if she wins, then we're forced into sudden death.
Yeah, I know stock market guys are known for their massive egos, but this move is too risky. It just doesn't make any sense. Sense? Like dollars and cents? Even when I'm confused, I'm still hysterical, Barry.
I agree with you there, Al. You definitely are confused about what's hysterical.
Hey, that's not what I said.
2, 1, go!
They go wide.
They connect in the bottleneck.
Mike in the lead again.
Sweet Vee on his tail.
Mike across the line.
And into the safety trees.
It's all over for Sweet Vee. Let's break it all down in the replay. It looks like a textbook start, Al. Both racers leave the guillotine gate clean. And they both go wide, looking to avoid any contact.
Right, Barry. Due to Mike's possibly showboating, they are both hunting for that win. Sweet Vee to stay alive and Mike to get that definitive win.
But it seems like Mike does decide to go for a block late within the bottleneck, and it almost costs him because he misses and spins himself around completely.
But what's really worth noting is Sweet Vee almost lost it on Carmine Corner. She would have been another member of Team Cartoons to fall victim to Carmine's ghost. But it looks like old Spooky Carmine has a soft spot for his granddaughter and his wife because he spared both of their souls.
Again, Carmine is not a ghost, and that curve is not haunted. In fact, Carmine himself crashed off that turn way back in race 2.
Exactly. Who else but a ghost could crash off his own curve?
Forgive him, fans. Anyway, by the time Sweet Vee managed to straighten out, Stock Market Mike was way ahead, and she took to the inside lane and was working hard to make up for lost ground.
And Mike decided to go for broke, financial joke, and give that auto everything it had because he knew good old Frederick Allen Seto's safety rocks, that's me, were waiting for him at the end of the finish line.
And it seems like Sweet Vee came to a screeching stop right after the line because she saw how members of Team Scrapyard used a tree against her son and team captain Wild Wheatmo back in race 5.
Sweet Vee proved that sometimes in racing you have to keep your head in the game even after you've crossed the finish line. Even though she didn't win, that's not bad for a first-time racer.
But someone who did win was Stock Market Mike. Living up to the stock market part of his name, Mike had a big gamble in Heat 2, but he also won big in Heat 3, making him tonight's winner and securing his spot in semifinal race 1. But before that, we'll get a real treat when we watch members of Team Scrapyard face off against each other for the first time, when Armando and Manny the Sports Coat meet in Round 2, Group 8. Until then, this is Barnabas Tone saying thank you and good night.
And I'm Frederick Allen Seto, saying thanks for watching, and I hope you'll join us again back here at the Scrapyard, but until then, thank you all for watching. If you haven't done so, give us a like, and please subscribe to the Scrapyard so you never miss a race.
And follow us on Instagram and Facebook for even more Scrapyard Diecast racing action. So please join us next time for the next installment of